mighty roar. Arrgh! Why haven't you become a member of the M37 community yet? Click that subscribe button now, or I will come through that screen and grab you with my mighty claws. Arrgh!
Hey, what's happening there, guys? M37 in the house on this Wednesday, June the 20th, 2:29 p.m. Eastern Time. Man, it's hot. It is so hot out here. Alright, I had a request by a viewer who is also actually a subscriber. So I take requests of utmost importance from my subscribers. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, but it was spelled Turbeano, so I'm thinking that's Turbeano. So Turbeano, here is my GWF build that I'm currently. I was playing with Mac Attack the other day. I'll make this video short as I can. I know people like their build videos to be short, but I have to tell you this. And we were doing the what's those things that you share, hospitalities, and I got a Dragonborn notification that came across my screen when I picked one of them up. It says you have unlocked Dragonborn. Now, I've not heard anyone else say that they received this. I've not seen it in chat. But I got one. So I guess I was very lucky. But anyway, so I changed Armswift from a human, which I was using the human for the extra feats, to a Dragonborn. And the reason why I went with Dragonborn, show you here, character, powers, yeah, is because of these two things. I receive 5% more healing from all spells and abilities. Well, my unstoppable, gives me quite a bit of a heal. And that's pretty nice to have. Plus, we want to be at 100% critical chance. And yeah, man, we'll take power. Power is a good thing. So I'm getting 3% more of critical chance and power off this Dragonborn. And he looks cool. Hey, what can I say? He's a ugly bird, but he's pretty cool. I mean, come on. Who don't want them big shoulders and the clothes hanger look, I guess is what you call it. Check it out, man. He's a big old broad fella. Let's just dive right into this build now. Character. We'll start off with feats. Now, before I get into this, I'm going to tell you straight up, there's really only two ways to go with a GWF build that are optimal. Everybody's GWF builds are either very similar or they are the same, because everybody wants more damage, and those are the things you're going to go with to get more that's offered to. And this is the way I went with mine. I put one into unstoppable action. It gives me 5% more bonus to my action points for dealing damage while I'm in my unstoppable. Now my action points, they fill up pretty quickly. I'm using slam quite often. And Cycle of Strength increases the amount of bonus damage that my strength gives me by 6%. And with toughness, I get 9% more maximum hit points. So I went with those. I didn't put anything in the fast runner or endless assault. I went with armor specialization to increase my armor class and defense by 50. Now, I'll get into why I did that later, but as you can see, your armor class also increases your armor penetrations, right? Okay. Now, I went with silly defense because that grants me 20% more power. 20% of my defense is power. Which plays off this feat here, which is armor specialization, which gives you 50% defense. Okay, and I didn't put anything in Constitution Focus. I didn't put anything in Grit. I took 2 out of Critical Chance, increased my critical chance by 2%. Actually, this was a number thing. I could have put 2 in Devastating Critical and 3 into the Weapon Mastery, but that would have only gave me 3% more critical chance. Now, the way I see it, we're looking at a 3% or a 15% increase in the stat, okay? Crit severity is nice because crit severity is going to give you a higher crit, right? So a good number on your crit severity would be somewhere between 100%, 100, maybe up to 120. Really, anything over 100%, no cap on it, but anything over 100% is going to be diminishing returns. That's why, after you get so high with your crit chance, the Vorpal is not as useful for you. Now, move right along. On Instigator, you see I didn't put anything in here. Destroyer, this is the one that all GWFs take that are wanting DPS, the high DPS. This is the one they go. I put Great Weapon Focus. I put 5 in that to give me an increase in my damage of my Atwells by 10%. Now, some people, they'll go with the Deep Gash, which gives them, with their critical strike, it causes the target to bleed. It'll cause the target to bleed for 20% damage. I'd rather go with 10% increase my damage in my Atwell, because I'm going to be getting a lot more hits in 6 seconds, unstoppable, and what Deep Gash was doing. It comes out higher. I went with Disciples of War. Disciples of War gives me 25%. What it does is it grants you power equal to 25% of your recovery armor penetration. Now, your armor penetration, you want to have 100% now for Ravenloft, for Mod 14 company. Been tested, it's a fact, you have to have 100%. I don't have very much recovery, and really it don't take that much armor in to get at 100% character, and I'll show you. Armor penetration, I've got 9,312. The 25% of that would be 25 out of 100, so that'd be 254,000. 254,000. That's 1,000 for 4. That's 2,000 for 8. So that's 2,250 more power right there. And go down, you can see that defense ignored is unbuffed at 85.9%. It goes up to 100% in battle plus some. Okay. Where was we at? Mighty Blades has been fixed. It's been fixed for a while now, and it does do crits. So Mighty Blades is a good thing. It an increase in damage by 10% when striking multiple. Now this plays off of see if this is the one I've got it on. Increases damage done by all attacks of weapon master strike by 8%. So I got 8% here. And 10% here, which is going to cause it to be 18% increase in damage, which is a good thing. Now, Executioner style is your IBS, which is Indomitable Battle Strike, and your Sure Strike will deal 30% more, well, it increases 30% bonus damage as your target's health to me. Now, that plays real well with the Archon companions, like the, let's see, is it the Archon? Yeah. This increases your damage against targets not at full health by 5%. So as soon as you hit target, you're going to have a 5% increase in damage. Alright. And your Fire Archon, of course, when you get it down to half, it's going to give it 7%. So that's 12% right there. An increase on your damage on these two that are playing together off of that feat, giving you 30% more bonus damage as the target's health to me. Pretty cool, huh? Now, some people will bypass that one. They won't take it. Now, this is the other way you could have went, or you could go. You could go, instead of using this one, with the Relentless Battle Fury. It reduces the cooldown of Roar and Takedown, which I do not use those two things. But it reduces the cooldown of Roar and Takedown and Battle Fury. Now it would, which is beneficial for you, because Battle Fury, the other two. But it reduces the cooldown by 50%. The damage of Roar and Takedown are increased by 25%. Most people, they don't use Roar Takedown unless it's probably in PvP. And the duration of Battle Fury is also increased by 25%. Now what Battle Fury does for you, the reason why people does take this feat over the Executioner style, and the powers there. The Battle Fury increases your at will and encounter damage, as well as action point gain for a brief period. Not sure how long that is, but I'm sure it's a short period. Okay, in addition, when first activated, your stamina is refilled. Your teammates are also buffed, but gain 25% of the benefit. That's pretty good, you know. And also, when your sprint runs out, right here, little power bar for your stamina. When your stamina runs out, as soon as you hit that Battle Fury, you can start sprinting again. So you're getting quite a bit of a movement rush speed there. That comes in real handy in some situations. It increases your, and it also increases your at will counter damage. It's nice. Some people say that their Sure Strike can do just as good as their Indomitable Battle Strike by using, why they're unstoppable, which it's possible. But for me and my play style, I go with the executioner style, because quite honestly, a lot of people they don't know how to use IBS. Where I sit at right now with my IBS, what you want to do when you first go in, you want to go ahead and hit your daring shout, get them marked, because that's going to play off of one of your feats. Actually, it's going to play off this feat, Powerful Challenge, which is going to increase your damage by 15% to marked target. And you want to go ahead and you want to hit your hidden daggers, because that's going to give you 10% more increase in damage buff. And now that does stack, so you got to be. It takes a little while to set up your buffs, so you got to think, how long is those mobs going to actually last? Can I get one hidden dagger in on them, or can I get a couple in there? Increase my damage buff. And then you want to hit with a couple of Weapon Master strikes. Get your debuff up there for the damage. Now, after you get a couple of those Weapon Master strikes in, you want to start hitting your Sure Strike. As you notice your numbers increasing, what I usually do is I wait until I see that my numbers are right at 500,000 on damage. Especially if it's a boss, going to live for a while. And once I see that my damage is up that high, I'll hit my IBS, and it will. I'll go. I can do as much as 1 million or more. You see a real high hit of damage. Do it that way. Now, some people, they just go in there. They hit their daring shout, and they'll hit hidden daggers. They might do a swing, maybe two, which is 2 swings and you're good to go. And they'll hit their Sure Strike, but then as soon as they notice that their IBS is off cooldown, they'll hit their IBS right away without watching their numbers. See that the Sure Strike's really starting to get those high numbers, and they're not going to get a very high hit from their IBS not at all. And you want to use your IBS on, if you're doing mobs, you want to use it on the lowest hit point target that you can hit, but it's within range for you. Because what happens then is it adds, a mark to the other target. Now, let's get back over here. I'm just explaining why I'm using this build here instead of using it just suits my play style. But there are arguments that can be made why the Battlefield build is. It's just your play style basically. And also what I use is my Focus Destroyer because it gives me a 25% chance to grant a stack when hitting any number of targets. Additionally, the Destroyer grants you 3.5% bonus damage per stack. That's real good during Unstoppable. And I use Battle Awareness. It grants me 25% shorter cooldown for 15 seconds, and Slam gives you 25% more power while it is active. That's quite a bit increase in power. And also Slam does crit, okay? Just remember that. And my Slam actually does pretty good damage on AoE. And I use Destroyer's Purpose. You now gain determination by dealing damage, and Unstoppable also increases your encounter power damage by 20%. When you deal damage while Unstoppable, you gain a stack of Destroyer's Purpose, get a maximum of 10 stacks, and each stack of Destroyer's Purpose increases your damage by 5%, so that's up to 50%. Destroyer's Purpose lasts for 25 seconds. Unstoppable, getting all them sure strikes, the numbers are going up, get IBS, damage, boom, there you go. I didn't use anything in the Instigator. Nothing up there to help you with. Sentinel. There's two ways you can go in here. I go with Unstoppable Recovery because activating Unstoppable will increase your health by 5% of your maximum hit points. Okay, my maximum hit points, they're not really that high. I'm at 130,000. Some people go a lot higher. It helps them with the power share and damage with buffs. But I tell you right now, if I'm down to here, or about right here on my health bar, I hit my Unstoppable, boom, I'm all the way full again, man. My power's right back up. You're soloing, and you got your Unstoppable going, and you're watching it pretty close. You'll do fine. You'll be okay. Now, you know, he's in game, so better watch pretty close because those mobs, they really do a lot of damage. Now, my bar builds up pretty quick, so I can pretty much keep my Unstoppable going. But Unstoppable does not make you immune to damage. It makes you take less damage, but you are still going to get damage. Be sure not to run too far away from your healer or your buffers and your tank in the end game. What one was I going to tell you about? For Steely defense. I took Steely defense because it grants you power equal to 20% of defense. Alright, you know, there's not really a whole lot to choose from in your defense slots unless you're going to go with running with a pally. And of course, you most always have a devoted cleric in using the, you know, getting that buff, that power buffs from from those guys to help with your damage on you. So what I do, what I put in here instead of putting radiancy defense slots, which what a lot of people do to get more hit points, I put in my Azirs to get more defense. More defense, right? More power I'm going to, with the addition power share that I'm going to be receiving anyway, a Pally or Cleric, or both. I went 2 out of 3 on my critical chance in order to get 3% more. Well, actually, that gives me 2% more crit chance. That's not a whole lot. 3%, if I win 3%, that's really not a big number. This is really a numbers game on your choice between 3 here or 3 here. I could have went 2 in devastating critical to increase my critical severity by 10%. No, I mean, I'd rather have the 15% increase. I want to hit that 100% critical severity, right? So I put 3 in here, and I put 2 on my critical. I jumped around here somewhere. I might have missed something. I'm not sure. But okay. Yeah. Some people on this on their builds will not use the unstoppable recovery. For some reason, they'll go down here and use the scale agility, which gives them a 5% chance to protect it. I don't know, man. When I hit that unstoppable, boom, I go back up in health. I really like my unstoppable. I wouldn't trade it. Alright, let's see. Powers. I use Pure Strike. Alright, I've got Destroyer active. My Destroyer is a huge swipe, strike deep, increasing my damage by 3% every time I hit more than 3 enemies with a single attack. Stacks up to 3 times, so that's 9% damage. I use Slam. Slam is going to increase your power too. Remember that. That one feat that I told you about, that's giving you 25% more power while you're using Slam. And my action points fill pretty quickly too, so Slams every time it's available. Don't matter if it's on mobs or if it's single target boss fights, I'm hitting that Slam. Okay. Weapon Master is what I'm using right now. What Weapon Master does is it refines your mastery of great weapons, increasing your critical strike chance by 1.5% on every successive hit. Stacks up 3 times. After it tells you on every successive hit, then it says stacks up 3 times. So that's 4.5% more critical strike chance. Now, you know, once you hit your 100% on your crit chance, that's your sweet spot where you want to be. You're going to outgrow this because there's really no cap on crit. But what happens is you start getting diminishing returns. You got 50 cents and somebody gives you 50 more cents, you got $1, you know. But the higher the number goes up, the lower it's going to be. After you reach $1, they give you 50%. It's not going to increase you a half. It's going to reach what, 3/4? No, actually about a fourth. Then you get 50 more. It's going to quarter more, and it's going to tenths. It just diminishes on your return after you get so high up. So 100% is sweet spot on B. And I use during shout. Oh, you're going to outgrow this, okay, eventually, because you're going to be going over that number, over the 100%. And when you do, you're going to want to switch that weapon master strike out with Wrath of Determination, which I've got 2 more gems that I'll upgrade, and then I'm going to switch it out. Maybe I might just upgrade 1 more gem, 2 more. I'm not sure which direction I'm going to go yet with that. It just depends on my balancing next month. But yeah, that's what I'm definitely going to do, because Wrath of Determination is going to give you 5% more melee damage as your determination fills up. And my determination is always empty, because whenever Unstoppable is ready, I'm using it. So I'm going to always be right around at 5% more damage. Now, after the bar is filled up, it doubles it and I get 10% more damage. But hey, use that Unstoppable, you're going to get a lot more damage by using it. Okay, back up here. I use during shout because it marks the victims and it plays off of this feat. Right here. Powerful challenge. Increases damage 15% to targets. Now, when you're playing with another GWF, if you notice that they're marking things and they're doing a pretty good job at it, you can go ahead and take your during shout out and use your use the Battle Fury, because like it says here, your Battle Fury is going to give you more damage with your at-will counters, and you'll be getting both benefits, because if the targets are marked, it don't matter if you marked them or if they marked them, still going to get the 15% damage. And plus you will also be getting, like if the other GWF is marking, you place yours with Battle Fury, you're also going to get that extra increase in damage with your at-wills and encounters. Or you can just private message them and say, hey, are you using during shout or Battle Fury? And then go from there. There's a lot of GWS. Most likely you're going to be running with you about random dungeons or anything. Crescendo, I've got it down here in my number 2 daily, but I never use it. It's not going to really do you any good. It's not increasing your power. And honestly, the way I got this build set up, you're going to get more damage from using your strike than you are from your Crescendo. Your Crescendo, it might increase your fill up your determination bar for a little quicker, maybe. I'm not sure, because my battle slam, my slam it makes my determination bar go up instantly almost. Like a little sound effect. Of course, I'm using IBS. Probably as of this evening, I'll be switching out the Weapon Master with Rifle Determination. A lot of this stuff I'm repeating, but hey, that's how we learn, is from repetition. Okay. Okay, so I went over my powers, over my. Apologize for jumping around. Did not completely accurately go over these. Do realize that now. Sorry about that. I put 3 out of 3 in Disciple of Strength because it increases the amount of bonus damage that I'm going to give based off how much strength I have by 6%. I did go with the 9% in toughness for more hit points. Basically to get over here to the armor specialization. It increases my armor class and defense by 50. It powers, feats, not doing bones yet. Let's talk about companions. Alright, with my companions, I use the Cell Sword right here because of this one stat right. But actually, it shreds 10% of the target's damage. That's for everybody in your. That's what I use. But it is actually outdated now. I need to replace it. I've been working on getting my gear score up, replacing this with another one. Not really going to do anything for my gear score at this moment. I've just been too tight with my Astro Diamonds. Man, Astro Diamonds are hard to. Takes a while to build up that million, 2 million, whatever those tigers are, in order to buy one. But the Shilton Tiger is the one you want to replace that with, basically because it gives you at the start of battle a increase in your damage, flat increase. I think it lasts 25 seconds. And also it does the thread, and it stacks with everybody else's using Tiger. And that is going to be your main. That's the one that you're always going to want to summon, is the Shilton Tiger. There are some cheaper, sometimes it's just have to check the market on the auction house. But you can go with a Rebel Mercenary, which is actually the same thing. And you can also go with the Con Artist. Be sure the Con Artist. You may want to check to make sure I'm correct, but I believe the Con Artist also does 10% targets. But those are the ones that you have to choose from, with Shilton Tiger being best slot as of right now, mod 13. That's the ones that you want to have as things. Got the, I'm not sure how the changes is going to take effect in mod 14 and their new companions that are coming out. I'm not sure what's going to happen there yet, so that's another reason I've been holding off on buying the Tiger. Actually, that's the main reason I've not bought the Tiger yet. But right now, I believe the Tiger's cheap. Kind of very tempting to go ahead and buy that Tiger. and hitting it up to legendary quick as possible. But I also use the Fire Archon, which increases my damage by 7% when the target's health is down below 50%. I use the Fire Archon. It increases your damage at targets not at full health. As soon as you hit them, they're not at full health by 5%. So right there's 12% more damage. And I use the Earth Archon, which increases your damage against targets by 6% when you are at full health. And with my Unstoppable, I'm pretty much always at full health. Of course, a tank's always going to be at full health, so this is a good way to go with a tank too. And it's going to increase you by 6%. Okay, so that's what? That's 7. I forget. 7. 5. That's 12. 6. That's 17 more percent. And for each Archon, you get 0.5, so 18.5 more damage flat rate. And then you want to look at the Siege Master. That's going to give you 4%. That's 22.5% more damage right there flat. But you're going to have after, you know, get the target's health down to 0.5%. You won't get that extra 7% until. Now, that's pretty much your best in slot for DPS right now on companions. My mounts, this is what I have. They're not exactly optimal for what I need, but it's what I'm using at the current time. I'm using Magistrate's Patience on Critical Strike. It applies the damage over time on foes, or a heal over time on allies. That's good to have. And I would probably replace this Oppressor's Retrieve with either Shepherd's Devotion or Protector's Friend, I think's what you call it, or Assassin's Covenant. The one that I would definitely go with would probably be Assassin's Covenant, or it'd be between Assassin's Covenant or Devotion's Shepherd's Devotion. Shepherd's Devotion actually stacks with everybody else's that runs it. That's what I like about that, but not everybody uses it. And Assassin's Covenant's pretty nice. Or take away some of your life steal, and I forget what else, but there's a couple of things that take away from, but the increase in power. I use Protector's Comadre, because when your companion attacks, you gain power and defense. Right now, whatever, if I didn't replace this with Shepherd's Devotion, and I used Assassin's Covenant here, I'd probably go ahead and put the other one down here. Take out the Gladiator's Skull. Gladiator's Skull's okay, but not as good as the Shepherd's Devotion, Assassin's Covenant, in my opinion. Gladiator's Skull, you move faster when your stamina is high. You regenerate stamina faster than it is low. It's not actually improving anything for me with damage. So that's why I would. I'd replace. Artificer's Artificer's Persuasion. When you use an artifact, receive a buff. Now that's really good because that buff it covers your recovery, your stamina, and another one. I'm not sure which one it is, but I do know that it does your action points and increases that, so you know which goes up your slam faster. So that's a nice one to have. And it goes into effect when you use artifact. I'm using Lantern to reach Revelation. What I started out with the game, and I built it up to Mythic. Perhaps the eye, get exactly what it's called, but it gives you like 30% more damage at Mythic when you use it versus 16%. Forgot what the hell was. The main reason I'm using this one is because of the 1000 critical strike and 1000 armor pen, and also it gives me combat advantage. Those are great equip bonuses right there. Okay. There's one more that I wanted to mention. Cavalry's Warning. I forget exactly what the bonus is that it gives you, but it's a real good bonus, and it increases. And when you use, but you have to have a legendary mount for it to be effective, because it only activates when you use your legendary mount. That's another real good that you could. Cavalry's Warning. Again, it's only good if you have a legendary. Okay, we went over companions, we went over mounts, done bones yet. Didn't go over my artifacts. My artifacts, we went over the lantern. I use the Book of the Dead for the 1000 crit, 1000 armor pen, and also the action. I use the demon set. It's business slotted right now, and from what I've seen on the preview card, and from what I've heard from the videos and everything, about 90% positive. I did say 90. Things can change between now and the next few days when they go live with the Ravenoff. Could change, but I think it's still going to be pretty sure, 90% sure it'll still be best in spot. The demon set includes your Demon Lord set includes the Shard of Orcus. It includes Baymont's Infernal Talisman and Demogorgon's Girdle Knife. Okay. What the bonus is that you're getting from it is you deal up to 20% additional damage based on the difference in hit point percentages between the player and the target. So it goes down lower. As their damage goes down lower, your damage go up higher. Or if your damage is lower and theirs is a lot higher than yours, then you're higher. Okay. And let's see. You get 1000 power, you get 1000 movement, and 600 AoE resistance. And that 1000 movement, when I went up to Mythic, I really did notice a difference. I don't use Darks. I'm using Quartermasters and Fabless right now. I'll either go fully with quartermasters because of the refining points. I don't know, are those, if those refining point quartermasters found the character on. That's bound to character. Open it up. No longer bound to character. One's given. That's rank 6. Binds on pickup to your account. Good for your lobies, parts, mate. One's giving me refining stones. Buddy, but you know, you can refine the insignia, the runestone too. The refining point. Alright. Get back. And I'm using Sigil of the Controller. The way you get that artifact is you just raise you up a Pro Wizard through the Vault of Nine, and you have access to it to any of your tunes. And it gives you 1,000 power, 1,000 critical strike, 600 control resistance. Those are the reasons I'm using. Okay. On my ability rolls, maybe I should have went higher on my strength, but for me, my playstyle, Constitution, I survive better. Gives me better survivability, and my dexterity giving me a crit chance, deflection chance, and AO damage taken. Strength and dexterity is where I went. A lot of people are switching their dexterity and putting it all into charisma for the companion stat bonuses and combat advantage. So a lot of people are going that direction. But basically, the reason I went with ability points here with strength, constitution, dexterity is, well, to be honest, when I started out, I didn't know what I was doing. This is my main character. He probably, as long as I play the game, he'll stay my main character. But I did put everything in strength, which was good. Glad I did that. But I really, my survivability is great. But when I first started playing, you know, that helped me a lot. As I am now, this Constitution points are wasted. 1, 2, 3, 4 points wasted, really. It should have put in, I'll put down, well, not 2 points. I'm sorry, because you automatically get these. But this is 2 points that I wasted. That should have been down here. 30. Or the way that people are playing now, could have went into charisma. And I thought when you bought a race reroll that you were automatically able to change your abilities also. Evidently it don't work that way. Or maybe you do get it when you buy the race reroll. I don't know. But when I got my race reroll that I was telling you about, that I obtained with Mac Attack there, it didn't give me the option to change these. The only thing that I got to change, I call this ability points reroll. But actually this ability points choice that you put in here that when you originally get your character as you're leveling it up. But it did let me change the roll. My initial roll, it let me change these. And what I done is I went with, I put 2 points into my strength and I put 2 points in 30, which gave me 18 and 18 on my strength and dexterity. dexterity growth. Okay, got that. I'll explain to you why mine is the way that it is, but the way you want to go this build is you want your strength, dexterity to be your main focus. And the highest that I've seen that you can get with this character that I'm using, which is the Dragonborn, I got 2 extra points for strength, and I got 2 extra points. So I rolled the highest I could in strength and dexterity, which was 16, and I put 2 in each one. Now you could have went all strength, but I like the dexterity because it gives me more critical chance and decreases my damage taken with AoE damage. So I wanted it to be up there a little bit because of my play style. Constitution's not a bad thing. I mean, it increases your defense ignored some and adds to your maximum. So it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good way. You could, starting out, I wouldn't. Charisma, not a good thing on low B characters unless you're really high and you've already got 100% crit. You can keep 100% crit without the points in dexterity. Then yeah, sure, go ahead and put it in charisma. Yeah, man, that's going to give you a little bit of boost, and it probably be noticeable boost. But I don't know how to change these. Not sure how to do that. Sorry for that. I have to look it up. I don't know if you can. Okay. A lot of people they want high power. Okay, as high as they can get their power, and they want that crit. The best builds that I've seen that I've ran with is half. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. They want their power to be double whatever their crit is. Like I've got 22,000 crit, and I should have 44,000 power. My power does go up to around 45,000, 45 when I'm using slam and I've got all my buffs and everything, and you know I'm getting power shares. It's going up decently, but I like my crit. I noticed I did go and put a lot of power, and I wasn't getting really that much of a difference in my DPS. Not much of an increase at all. But then I decided, well, I'll just start putting in crit. And when I started building up my crit, man, with this build, that's when I really noticed, hey, there's a big difference here. I'm getting all kinds of extra DPS. That's the way I went. It's working for me, and it's pretty good. All right. Power and crit's important. Armor penetration. Says defense ignored is at 77.9. While I'm in battle, that goes 100. Recovery, I've got 4,000 in recovery. And I'm telling you, I fill up real quick. I think really all you probably need is around 1,200 recovery. But if you get extra in there, hey, that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. My action point gain is 1150. You'd like it to be right at 1,200. My defense is 15,000. You would like your life still to be around 1,200. You regen at 1,200. Still This is just basic. Just base stats, nothing robust or anything. Remember that. It says my critical chance is 75.3, but when I'm in battle, I'm actually doing right around. I'm always at 100%. Sometimes it goes up as high as 115, 120%. Fed after you get over 100, you're getting diminished returns. My crit severity is 102%. My defense ignored is 88.9, which is well over 100%. You can pause and look at what my stats are right now. Want to check it out? Okay. Now boons. Really, this video is getting a lot longer than what I wanted it to be. But for guild boons, I use the armor penetration boon. What we have available. Whenever I do start getting the gear or the increase in my armor pen to where I'm at 100% without this boon, I will be switching over to the power, of course. I use the defense boon, and I'm using the speed boon down. You know when to use your XP. Treasure hunting is real nice when double resources are around. You're doing the hunts for the paces that you can buy from the guild marks vendor. I don't have anything in PvP. I played it a couple of times. Just can't get into that PvP. And we'll just go over this real quick. I'm not going to give no explanation to it because the video's getting. I'm going to show you. You can pause it and look at it. Okay, if you want me to make a different video or add to this video and give explanations for the boons, and just leave it in the comment and I will. Okay. Make sure that I everything. Turbeano, there you go, buddy. That's my GWF build. Like I said, if you want me to do another video explaining why I did these choices with the boons, and go right on ahead and I'll put it on there for you. But this is M37 signing out of here. Oh, wait a minute. Before I sign off, I'd like to show you. I'll do this in a separate video. I will go over the campaign boons, and I'll show you his stats when he's in battle, how high he goes, and I'll show you his rotation. Alright, for now, this is M37 out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.